What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Chit here for an easy but useful Chop Shop episode. This time we'll be making a flare filter and we need a few magical ingredients. First, the cheapest UV filter you can find. Second, fishing line. Third, tape. And fourth, scissors if you don't have super teeth that can cut fishing line. I know this is a very common trick, but the way it works is a much less common explanation. Let's get it started and I'll talk over the process, okay? First, remove the glass of the UV filter. You can simply unscrew it or you can break the glass. The one I'm using is 77mm because it's big and should cover all my lenses. You can make several, don't worry about it. After removing the glass, cut a piece of fishing line that's just a little larger than the diameter of the ring. Tape it to the ring. Boom, done. Now that I thought about it, a circular polarizer would be better, since you can adjust the direction of the wire. Scratch that UV I mentioned before, go with a CPL. When putting this in front of your lenses, you have to align it vertically, so the flares are horizontal. Okay, a few notes on that. First, the diameter of the line affects the flare. The thinner the line is, the more subtle the flare. There is a huge number of fishing line diameters out there. I got 3 here. This is 0.2 millimeters, 0.28 millimeters, and this is huge, 0.41 millimeters. And you'll see the difference in the tests. Another option, if you don't mind getting a little tape on your lenses, is completely ignoring the UV part and just taping the wire directly onto the lens. The downside is that you have to do it for every lens that you plan to use, instead of simply swapping the filter. Some people like doing this with several lines across the filter, instead of just one in the middle, which causes stronger flares based on the distance between the lines. You can also tint the line with markers, like Sharpie markers, and then you have a colored flare. Yay, nice, right? Otherwise, if you just use the clear regular line, you have a flare that has the color of the light source. The most noticeable downside is you have a straight line in the middle of all your bokeh. And if you have several lines on the filter, you have several lines on the bokeh as well, because it is an obstacle between the lens and the light, so there's no light coming through that. It can start to show in any highlights actually, because the lines are actually blocking light to reach the sensor. And why the heck does this work? Why can't I just use regular threads instead of fishing line? Because fishing line is transparent and it's denser than air. So when the light changes mediums from air to inside the fishing line, it refracts. Some beams will get in at a very magical and special angle that will trap them inside the line, so they can only exit through the uppercut or the downcut. If you notice, the flare is always perpendicular to the direction of the wire. If the wire is vertical on the lens, the flare is going to be horizontal. But if the wire is horizontal, the flare will be vertical. That happens because the light coming from the source will travel straight and hit the wire. Some beams will go inside of it and go up or down, as I said, and will not appear in the resulting image. The ones that don't get in are the ones that are causing the flare. From optics, the law of reflection states that a beam of light will be reflected at the same angle it hits the barrier being the wire. The light can only reflect horizontally, because vertically it will just go inside the wire and disappear at the top and bottom. So it reflects horizontally, and that is what causes the streak flare, because it travels and it's very close to the lens, so it just gets in horizontally. And I know it's confusing, I hope this made any sense. If it didn't, please comment below or send me a message, whatever, and I'll try to come up with better wording or visual examples that are more clear, I don't know. Now that this is done, it's time for you to try it out and enjoy this cheap trick. For me, I guess I should start a career in fishing, because I have about 500 meters of fishing line here, and each filter uses less than 10 centimeters, so Chitfadden's gone fishing. See you next week. One last thing before I catch my lunch here. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my blog for the whole Anamorphic on a budget guide for free and a lot more content and other reviews. And also, if you know someone who might be interested in this flare filter or any kind of modifications of the reviews, please send them the links. Help me expand the channel so I can make more content and reach more people who need to share this. And well, see you next week. Bye bye.